Hey everybody, it's Rebecca R&R again. We are going to have a great day here. We're installing the bees in our new Primal Hive. So I wanted to show you how we're getting set up. The nuke that we're going to install today, the Nucleus colony, was put in this location last night. So that way the bees have had time to forage today and start reacclimating to this position on my hive board, which is great. I've slid the Nucleus colony over and I've put up our Primal Bee Hive. I have our bottom board. I have one entrance reducer closed, and then I'm going to use this one in an open. So I've got it on a small setting for now while the bees get acclimated. There we go. Perfect. I have a smoker in hand in case we need it. We never want to put the smoker on the hives because they could melt a little bit. So make sure you always put one of these in a safe place. We're going to set it aside now because I don't think we're going to need it today. I have a bee brush handy. I have food syrup for them. Now this is a 4-to-1 ratio. So 4 cups of sugar to 1 cup of water scenario in a jar with little puncture holes in the top that'll go into our feeder lid in a few minutes. So that is ready to go. I also put together a little bit of sugar water spray just to help spray the bees a little bit so they don't fly off very quickly while I'm installing them from here into our bee nest. Now I've also taken the time to locate the queen in our Nucleus colony. And I have her in a queen cage just because when I shake the bees down into this nest, I don't want the queen to do a drop into the nest. I know the bees can handle it. The queen, I want to make sure she's comfy in the nest first. So we're going to install her before we install all the rest of the bees. So our location is set up. We're facing a south-southeast direction. We are in full sun. We're getting our weeds taken care of here. Due to the area of this bee yard, we're not putting fabric down. It's a little big for us. And so, but we have to weed whack and keep the weeds down here. So I'm getting excited. We did put 2 coats of paint on our beehive, so they're going to be fun colors now. So let's install some bees. Okay, here we are. This is the follower board that came with your Primal Bee Hive. So I'm going to put it a couple of frames into the nest area just to restrict the area a little bit for the colony to take over. And I'll expand it over time as they grow into it. Now, all the frames in here have been pre-waxed. A nice double layer of coating of wax, beeswax, has been put on these frames to help the bees acclimate a little better. So the first thing we're going to do is get our queen settled in. All right, so here we go. What I did was take one of my frames and I just looped some elastics together to put here. That way I can get my mama bee in her little queen cage. And I've got her right here from the Nucleus colony. And we're going to carefully and gently put her up here. There you go, girls. And just try to hold her in there. That way I know she's nice and easy and gentle in her colony before we get going. There we go. Now the queen is home. No jostling, no dropping, tender loving care there going on. So I have my bee brush ready and my sugar water ready. I'm going to make sure it sprays because sometimes that can be an issue. There we go. We're ready to go. So I'm going to pick up our first frame. We'll grab this side. And if this is a new colony to you, look over and make sure your wings are nice and shaped, nice and smooth. Make sure your bees are in good shape. They have nice round booties. Make sure there's no mites that you're seeing on them, and make sure there's no other pests, and the comb is in pretty good condition before you get going. A good assessment of your bees is always good. So I'm going to spray a little bit of sugar water just to help keeping them from flying around. All right. And I'm going to take my bee brush here and gently get the bees, flick, 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 down into the nest. Get this side a little bit. Flick, 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 flick. And then they'll start finding that queen down there too. And that'll help get them in. There. This frame's done. There wasn't too many bees on that frame, and we're going to repeat the process. Okay, so we've transferred each of the frames in a little bit by brush. There's a few stragglers left in my nuke box, so bees like to travel upwards a bit. So I'm just going to leave it by the front entrance for a day or so they can work on finding their way into the smell of the queen that's in here. They'll find their way in. So here we have the bees working their way down. There you go, girls. You're going to have fun with this. I don't want to give them a little extra help, so we are going to put the feeding lid on next. Okay, here we go. Make sure I don't squish any girls here. I'm going to move slowly and shift to the sides a little bit, scooting everybody out of the way. Beautiful. And then I'm going to grab my feeder, make sure my seal's on nice and tight, and quickly, boop, right into place. Now to cover this up, we use one of our supers. So I'm going to grab one of those. Here we are. And that's covered. Perfect. And then before the bees get into that locked space, we're putting on our outer cover, outer lid going on here. So in about 2 to 3 days, I'll go in there and release the queen and let them start working on their beautiful new hive, and can't wait to see how they do. It's been a couple of hours since we installed the bees. They all have come out of their nuke box, nice and easy, and they have figured out to come in here, and they're starting to make progress coming in and out of the hive here. There they are. So nice relaxing day, and the bees are moved in. It's a successful transfer.